Hello. How's everyone going? I'm going to try and see who's online. Comment to say if you are. Or hello, Anna. Hello. Nicole, hiding behind that name there, but I know that's you. Hello. How exciting. Well, we'll give some people some time to join. I'll do some stretches because it's important to stretch before we do our skincare. I'm also wearing my favorite top. I don't know if you can read it. It says sleep, coffee, and chill. I don't know what the other one says. Thank you. I thought you would like the color palette. You in particular, Nicole. Excellent. Okay, well, we'll get started because it's not one of those things you really need a huge intro for, or for anyone to be at the beginning to know what's going on or what's not going on. But yeah, we will start off. So my name's Greco. I am one of the youth workers over at YMCA Victoria, and I've been asked to come and have a chat to you a little bit about self-care, but also how I do my self-care. So I figured I would talk to you about skincare because that's how I do self-care. And for those of you who might not know, last Friday was actually the International Day of Self-Care. What I'd love for you to do is, if you're interested in skincare, we're going to talk a lot about that, but I'd really love to know what you do for self-care as well. So if you want to pop in the chat while we go along, some of the tips and advice that you've got for other people when it has to do with self-care, that would be really awesome. And I'm going to talk to you about some strategies as well and why self-care is important at this crazy time. So for those of you who need context, who might not need context, I'm in Metro Melbourne, so we're currently in lockdown 2.0, which is super exciting or not. And probably one of the hardest things about 2.0 has been just the monotony. So the same thing every day, day in, day out. And what I've found is I've found things that I can really be passionate about to really make those minutes tick away during the day. And that's been my self-care, and we'll talk about that. But that part has been my skincare. So I do that in the morning and I do that at night. And I can spend probably hours Googling, joining groups, talking to people about it, but it has really allowed me some time to get into it and really making it a passion of mine. Because prior to lockdown, I probably maybe used a moisturizer and that was about it. But now, as you'll see from my packets of goodies, I've gone a little bit more extreme with it. Now, a bit of advice. Whatever I show you today, it's all my opinions. I'm not some beauty blogger that I've been asked to sprout some opinions on here. This is all things that I think are amazing. They're my views, not YMCA Victoria's. That's really, really important. And the other thing about skincare is you don't have to spend a lot of money to get into it. So I'm going to suggest some brands today that I use that are cheaper, on the cheaper side. So those, who might be struggling with that income at the moment, it's only about spending a little or borrowing from friends or family in a safe, socially distanced way, or sourcing from other places that don't cost you a bucket load of money. So let's begin. Well, the first thing about skincare is you need a good headband, okay? Now this might seem trivial, but it's actually really, really important part of the process. So you can go like traditional, if you go to a day spa, you might get something like this, it looks like that, and it's pretty nice, it's very comfortable, works on your hair, that sort of stuff. Or you can go like, one of these. So this is good fun. Actually matches my top, which is cool. So this is just your traditional headband. I think this one's from Colette. But for today, I'm going to go utterly ridiculous because we all need a bit of sunshine in our life. I'm going to go this one. Yes. So this is from Go-To Skincare. I know they're not available at the moment, but I think they will be coming out soon. But this is my favourite because it makes me smile. So I hope it makes you smile and anyone else that might be joining in. So we're going to start with a bit of a cleanse. So let's talk about cleansers because there's a bit of controversy when it comes to cleansers. You know, I know a lot of people think that you need to double cleanse, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not wearing any makeup in ISO. You can probably definitely tell this is like Greco in her all natural state. So today we're just going to do a single cleanse, and I love oil cleansers. I don't know about you, but I think they are amazing. So, by the way, hopefully you're all in your bathrooms and you're playing along with me today, because I think the funnest thing about skincare is actually doing it with other people. So this one is quite amazing. It melts into your skin and turns into a bit of an oil. And it's really quite nice and it feels lovely on the skin. It smells like roses, which is really good. Oh, thanks, Nicole. So what I use to wash off my makeup is the face halos. But you know what I found out? That actually you can get just generic branded ones for so many places. So you can get them from like Sports Girl, you can get them online, like Catch of the Day sell them. So they're all exactly the same. They're just microfiber, as you can see. And then whatever company it is, they just put their little brand here. So if you want like a savvy option, instead of, you know, spending a whole bunch of money on something called Face Halo, because it has a brand, then just Google microfiber cleansing sponge, and you'll be surprised how many come up on your feed. So there you go. So that's a bit of a tip. But yeah, pop in the comments, you know, do you double cleanse? Is this controversial? Is this a thing that I'm just seeing on beauty pages to make me buy more cleansers? I'm not sure. You let me know if that's a thing, if you double cleanse or not. Okay, now, good skincare. The question is, when do I start? Now, a lot of people think it's something you have to do when you're a bit older, but you should actually start well into your young ages, and you should always start with sunscreen. So if you wear a sunscreen from when you're like 12, well, actually from when you're born, to all the way up into your hundreds, you'll have beautiful skin. So for anyone's watching, you know, who might be under the age of say 16, really, your biggest takeaway today is wear sunscreen every single day. Even if you're not going out into the sun for a long amount of time, you should still wear sunscreen, okay? Now, interestingly enough, when you get a bit older, so I reckon you can start a good skincare routine from like 16 onwards. It gets a bit more hectic the older you get, but you know, 16-year-olds should be moisturising, and oh, there you go, Nivea for 35 years, and I'm sure Melbourne chic about town, your skin's beautiful. So yeah, if you're in one of those younger age groups, you can start using just, you know, your moisturisers, a cleanser, that sort of thing. Now, what I'm going to go through today, this is going to start when you're about probably in your 20s. So from 20 upwards, you probably want to use some of these extra ingredients that we're going to talk about today. Okay, so I like to start with a facial spritzer. We will talk about sunscreen, Declan. I have so many sunscreens to recommend. So this is quite fun. I actually found one at Aldi the other day. And oh my God, if you love skincare, go to Aldi. It is the best place for you to find amazing skincare. But anyway, we start off like this. There you go. Lovely. So this just starts the skin moist. I actually didn't realise that you should put your skincare on when your skin is wet. So there you go. You can also just wet your face. That's absolutely fine. And I start with something called a serum. So serums come in so many different shapes, way, shape, or forms. This one's from Olay. Like, this is just from Woolies. And a lot of people think Olay's like for their mum, but they've come out with some really awesome products recently, and they're actually quite cool. This is another Aldi one. This is from Aldi. There's also a really cool brand. which is quite cheap, called The Ordinary. Now, The Ordinary are like super popular because they have all these fancy serums, but they're only like $10 a bottle. And then, believe it or not, Kmart have recently come out with a skincare range. Look at this one. So this is $4. And I don't know if it does anything, but I'm willing to try it out to see. If you've got sensitive skin, always remember to patch test. That's really important because if you don't patch test, you might get a reaction. But anyway, so that's, $4. You know, this one was like $15. Yeah, The Ordinary, amazing. It's like $10. And then, like, Olay, yes, it's expensive. It's like $30, but on special at Kohl's. I don't know whether this one's made. Yeah, probably in China, but that's all right. I mean, a lot of skincare. Australian skincare is amazing, and I will talk about Australian skincare. But the price point can maybe put some people off it. Very good, Tony. I wonder where The Ordinary is made. New York. It's American. There you go. For cheap. So let's start with the serum. So the rule of skincare, number one rule of skincare, you go from thinnest to thickest. So when you have a look at some of these serums, you'll see it's very, very thin. So I'll show you. Okay, so see this one? It's like really thin and watery. So that's how I know it should go on my face first. So I put this in. Now, there is like a proper skincare way of doing this, but meh. I don't know what it is. Well, I do, but I just don't ever do it because I really like the sensation of just rubbing it all in my face like this. And that's really light and thin and should go in very, very quickly. Made in Canada. Didn't know that. And then what I always like to do, here's a bit of a trick. I have the back of my hands, I don't use hand cream, and they're quite dry. So whenever I'm finished with my skincare, I always rub it on the back of my hands, and then my hands get moisturized, which is great. So anything that says serum on it, as you can see, so serum, these don't have serum written on them, but this one does. So anyway, that's what we're starting with. Okay, and then I'm in love with a good face oil. Oh, let's talk about face oils, and let's talk about go-to by Face Hero. So this is the Zoe Foster Blake cult product. I'll tell you something. I wasn't a believer. I thought it was not, true. I was like, it can't be that good. So I bit the bullet and I bought some because I was like, well, I have to try it. And I'm in ISO, so I'm going to treat myself. It matches my top, so that's exciting. So I bought it and I'm so in love with it. I love it so much. There's also jojoba. So this is a face oil. It's like pure jojoba. I mean, anything with face oil written on it, you get the gist. So, if you want to go sort of cult beauty, you can go Face Hero. You can try a jojoba. There are a lot of natural alternatives out there that you can find that are really amazing. But I just enjoy face oil so much. So that generally comes next in your routine because, and there's a lot of controversy about like where oils come. So I just check with the company. The company always tells you where it thinks you should put its face oil. So jojoba, for example, they say you should put it last. But Zoe Foster Blake, go-to, says you should put it before your moisturizer. So a hot tip, any sort of face product that you buy, it always says on the box like when you should use it in your routine. So I didn't know that. Another cool thing, if you want to learn, because this is where I've learned heaps of my stuff from, is if you go to like Facebook groups. I've spent so much time on Facebook. You Beauty, it's called. That's my favorite one, but there's so many out there. And it's been really nice and pleasant. So all the Corona stuff I can, scroll through, and then I'm like, oh, beauty. Oh, beauty this, beauty that. So that's really exciting. So if you want to learn, and you haven't been able to learn, jump on a Facebook group. I've learned so much. So that's face oil. There's not heaps of face oils out there, so they can be hard to find. Okay. Then we've got an eye cream. Okay. Now, eye cream's controversial. Some people use them. Some people do not use them. most people do not use them. As you can see, I'm going to show you some face creams that I've got because I don't really use them all that much. Oh, Frank Body. I've heard amazing things about that. I really want to try Frank Body. And I didn't know Rebecca had a Facebook group. I will be joining. So eye creams would come next in your sort of routine. I've got like a Clinique one. I've got this one. It's called Liar. This one's from Woolies. I got it in a beauty box. And this one is Olay as well. But to be honest, like, you probably don't need an eye cream till you're a little bit older. So maybe, in your 20s, maybe late 20s instead of. So bit of a tip for eye cream. Okay, I learned this. I didn't know this. Don't put it here, right? So this is bad. If you put it here, it actually works your way up into your eye. So what you do is you just put it here. And then it will make its way up into your eye. Now, different eye creams have different instructions. You should always read the box and it should tell you like where to apply it. But I haven't seen any eye creams on the market that tell you to put it like super close to your eye. Same thing with sunscreen. If you put it too close to here, it will go into your eyes and you'll be starting to feel it and you can't see and it's terrible. So don't do that. Okay, so there is our eye cream, which is exciting. As I said, don't use it every day. It's probably why I have 10 of them. Okay, then we've got moisturizer. So a lot of people like to have a day and a night moisturizer. I have so many moisturizers to choose from. I love little samples. I always choose little samples. I've got the Olay. This is Face Whip. This one is like an old school brand from Melbourne called the Gorgeous Eliza. I love it. The Elegant Eliza. Ooh, sorry, gotta get that right. And whatever you choose, the day one should be light. It should go on nicely, sit well under sunscreen. Whereas your night one, you want that to be quite thick. You want that to have, some hyaluronic acid in it, or, a really good hydrator, some squalene, some fatty acids, or, all those sorts of fun things. One of the things I've really deep dived into over COVID is like what the ingredients mean. So, if this has a natural ingredient in it, what does that do for my face? Or, what is retinol and what are these chemicals in some of them? Because I think the more informed you are, the less you'll get sort of cheated into buying things that actually don't do anything for your face. Now, let's put on, it is nighttime, isn't it? So let's put on our night cream. Okay. Night cream is probably my favorite step. Oh, well, actually, I was going to put sunscreen on, but nah. I'll just show you my sunscreens because that's the most important thing. 5. 5 is too young to start, yes. But you know what 5 is not too young to start with? Sunscreen. Every 5-year-old should be wearing sunscreen outside no matter what. So make sure if you're 5 or younger that you are wearing sunscreen every single day. Every single day. It's so important. Again, see the back of the hands? It's habit now. I just do it all the time. Okay, so let's talk sunscreens. Well, a lot of people think that, having SPF, 15 or plus or something in their sunscreen is enough. It is not. You should be wearing 50 plus every single day, okay? Even during COVID, even when you're stuck inside all day, you'd be surprised by how much sun that you're getting, okay? So you really need to, get in there and wear a sunscreen. Now, please suggest any sunscreens that you might love. I'm going to suggest a few that I love. So this is $2. $2 from Aldi. It's part of their special buy, so you have to look out for it. But it is 50 plus and it feels amazing. And it's so light and really, I'm going to put it on, doesn't matter. I know I'm not, no, it's night time, but it's really light and it rubs in so quickly. I don't know if you can see that. So quickly. And it doesn't give you that like white sheen that some other sunscreens give you. And it feels like a moisturizer. So if you want like a super, super savvy brand or sunscreen, go to Aldi when they have their next special buys. Ones that you can buy though is then the other cult beauty product, Ultraviolet. See this one? So this is like, it's made in Melbourne, I believe, and it is from some women who used to be, the sunscreen, this is Umbra from Aldi. It is made in Melbourne from women who used to be makeup artists. And so what they've done is they've formulated sunscreen that can do really well under makeup. Now, even though I'm not wearing makeup anymore, the amazing thing about Ultraviolet is it feels like a face cream, which is really exciting. And at the moment, there's this big debate in the beauty world about Mecca to save face and Ultraviolet. So I'm trying both at the moment and trying to see who wins. I don't know if we have any strong opinions out there of what you prefer, Ultraviolet or Mecca to save face, but if you want to join in the conversation, please do let me know what's your favourite. But to be honest, sunscreen is probably the thing that you can spend the least amount on and get the best results. So no amount of money is going to reverse sun damage at the end of the day. So make sure you wear sunscreen every day. Coles, you can buy sunscreen, for $2. Aldi, $2. It should definitely be a part of your routine if it is not already. Cool. Okay, so now that would be the end of my usual sort of routine there. But we also have some extra steps we can talk about before we get into a little bit more self-care. And that is exfoliating. So exfoliating is a controversial thing because some people go overboard and then they don't do long-term harm to their skin, but they can go a little bit hard, a little bit too soon, and they can get some redness and irritation. But they're saying you should exfoliate at least 2 to 3 times a week. And so I've got a couple of different ways to exfoliate. I was using for a long time a physical exfoliator. So if you're one of your natural gals, you can do like a coffee scrub, which is great. But I have recently upgraded to, I had sensitive skin too, but you do get used to it, Nicole. I've recently upgraded to a chemical exfoliator, and there's 2 ways you can do it. So there's a mask. So this was like $15 at Aldi recently, and it's awesome. And it actually works after 3 minutes, and you get that real glow, which is super exciting the next morning. I know Zoe Foster has exfoliating swipies where you can put them on your face and you just swipe them over and they exfoliate. But I ended up going with the Mecca. It looks like a toner, but it is an exfoliator, and I use these environmentally friendly reusable makeup pads, which you can get in lots and lots of places. And I use this 2 to 3 times a week. So you got a couple of options if you want to exfoliate and take it to that next level. And then we've got my favorite thing of all time, and that's face masks. Oh, I love face masks. So you can go like Kmart has some awesome face masks. You can get them from the supermarket. I got these ones from the Body Shop. So I actually prefer, I don't really like sheet masks. I don't know if they actually, do what I need them to do. But I love, using my little face mask brush, which you can get from lots of different places, and actually, painting something on, like one of these or one of these, and the clay, this one. So depending on what you want, I'm sure there's a mask for it. I'm sure you can. So let me know if you have any awesome masks that you want to share with us, or any tips or tricks. So that's kind of, oh, nice. Mecca Beauty Origins Rose Clay. I've never heard of that one, so just reading some comments. Yeah. So that's basically my routine in a nutshell. So really what you've got, just to summarize, you want to do, a mask maybe once a week, especially during COVID, because, you've got all the time in the world. I usually put them on in between Zoom meetings, give me that glow in the Zoom meeting. You want to use a cleanser of some sort. Make sure, if you want to double cleanse, you can, but I prefer just an oil cleanser to start my day off. Then I like to follow with a spritz. Give myself that, freshness. Feel it does a little bit more extra than just wetting my face. Then you want to go with a serum. So anything that says serum on the bottle, if you really want to get into it, you can look up like how the chemicals interact with each other. You can go natural. There's lots of natural serums out there that you might be interested in. Then you want to go a face oil. Now, a lot of people, as I said, might not be into face oils, but once you start, I guarantee you won't be able to stop. You'll love it so much. And then during the day, you want a day sunscreen. At night, you want a night sunscreen. Face cream, day, night. And then, of course, last but not least, you want a sunscreen. Sunscreen. I think if there's anything you will learn today, it's wear sunscreen every day. And find one that you're going to love. So that's why some of these more expensive brands are a little bit more exciting because I get really excited putting them on my face and I know I'm going to wear it. Okay, cool. So I would love to know if you can post in the comments, what are some things you've been doing in Y-So for self-care that you could share with the group, any skincare things you're doing that I might have missed. But yeah, we would love to know just before, we don't have much longer before we wrap up, but I would love to know any of your tips. They're coming through. This is like feeling awkward time now. Oh, you know what I can show you, because it's exciting, is what I keep my skincare in, because it came out not that long ago, actually. There we go. So these acrylic makeup cases were in Aldi on Wednesday. So I purchased one, and I also purchased this one as well. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but that was super exciting. So if you want something that you would love to keep your information, makeup in, I'm reading the comments. It's very hard to talk and read the comments. Reading before bed. That is such a good idea. I have been loving getting back to reading, really taking that time. And I feel like if I do it before bed and I say, okay, I'm going to go to bed 20 minutes early and read, I read so much more than if I try and fit it in during the day or when the TV's on. So that's really good. You've been using soap that doesn't have fragrance in it. That's good for self-care. If you don't like fragrance, if you love fragrance. Or is it for your sensitive skin, maybe? Declano_27. Any other tips or tricks? Well, if you are struggling for some advice on self-care, long walk with the dogs, yes, that's exciting. We do have a really exciting resource that you can jump onto. So if you didn't know already, this is all part of Virtual Y. And so we would love to see you over at Virtual Y, so virtually.org.au. You can Google it, or you can remember the URL depending on how fancy you are. And we have a self-care bingo that's coming up. So it's a bit of a mini challenge. If you feel like you're not self-caring or you're not taking enough time, then I want you to download that bingo sheet and tick off the boxes and then send it back through to me. And there's some great advice on that, like, going for a long walk, doing something healthy for yourself, finding a new book, finding a new passion. So there's so many good things on there: cross-stitching, knitting, cooking a healthy meal, doing something nice for someone else. I was in the line at Kmart the other day, essential shopping, of course, and someone paid for this other lady's lay-by. She just paid the whole thing off. It was like $127. And I was like, wow, that must make her feel really nice inside. And I think that's why, because it was her self-caring by caring for someone else. So that's a really exciting thing. But please join us on Virtual Y. It's 100% free resource for you to jump onto. Look at some of those self-care tips. But just a couple of things I want to leave you with before we finish up. We've got 2 more minutes. Is self-care does not have to be hard. It's finding something that you're passionate about, like skincare, and then just going at it full ball. So joining Facebook groups, you know, maybe spending a little bit of disposable income, if you have any on the moment, on that passion, and doing it every day, spending 5 minutes just for yourself, because you'll be so surprised. You know, every morning I pop into my bathroom and I do this, and every night I pop into my bathroom and I do it, and I feel so much better for the rest of the day. So it really it really sets me up in a really nice frame of mind, no matter what's happening in the outside world. Okay, well, thanks everyone. I hope that was enlightening. This is the first time I've done anything like this. Hopefully you learnt something. Chuck it in the comments if you did. But other than that, I'm going to let you all get to your amazing dinners, which I'm sure you've got ready because it's a Friday night. And yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.